I'm Louise Allen. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and get some snacks. I know you guys like to be prepared. Where should I begin? I suppose I should tell you about myself. I'm 17 even though I look a little younger because I'm short. My Aunt Flo often called me a midget. It was the truth, so I didn't get mad at her for it. What mattered was I had a big heart. Speaking of Auntie Flo, she was the only family I had. A long time ago, my parents abandoned me and left me in search of a better life. I could have ended up in an orphanage, but my aunt took me in. We had been really close ever since. Auntie Flo was a bit of a weirdo, but also an immensely talented artist. She went through life with a smile on her face and tried to teach me to do the same. Dang it, I failed a physics test. So what? The world didn't end now, did it? Let's go look at the stars. There will be other tests. Thanks to my aunt's optimistic philosophy, I grew up free-spirited and cheerful. It took a lot to get me down. One week, we ironed toast because our toaster broke down, and we had no money for a new one. Yeah, we weren't rolling in it, but we were happy. I loved looking at the stars, walking with our dog Lucky, and taking photos on my old Polaroid. Hey, lovebirds! Say cheese! Those were my best friends, Penny and Derek. We liked to go on picnics and find new beautiful places together. I wouldn't have traded my carefree life in our tiny town for anything in the world. It all began when I received an anonymous package. Inside, there were expensive earrings and a postcard that read, "For my savior Louise. Thank you for everything." Well, well, well. Does my niece have a secret admirer? I'm not sure. All the boys I know I don't wear jewelry, especially if it's so opulent. Later that day, Penny, Derek, and I were lying on the grass, staring at the clouds and wondering who could have sent me such an expensive gift. Louise, could it be your parents? What if they got rich and decided to bribe you with gifts so that they could show up later and be like, surprise? I doubt that. Derek, what do you think? I think that this cloud looks like a hot dog. Boo Bear, come on, this is important. Sorry girls, I'm really hungry. We bought Mr. Bottomless Stomach a hot dog. And then I decided that even if those earrings were a gift from my parents, I didn't want anything to do with them and pawned the earrings. My friends and I used the money to buy toys and brought them to an orphanage. The kids were over the moon and their happiness was infectious. A couple of days after that, my friends and I decided to go on yet another picnic. It was our thing. Of course, first we went to a supermarket to get some snacks. We were on the way there when I got a call from Auntie Flo. I was right, Louise. You do have a secret admirer. Whoa, start from the beginning. Some guy just stopped by. He arrived in a limo and asked me about you. I said you were at a supermarket. Get ready for an unforgettable meeting. As soon as my aunt said that, someone threw their arms around me and lifted me up. Louise! I finally found you! It was a tall, handsome guy. He was surrounded by bodyguards, so I assumed he was rich. Derek and Penny gasped in shock behind my back, and I demanded to be put down. Hey, I'm not a doll! I'm sorry, I'm just really glad to see you. Don't you recognize me? It's me, Adrien! My friends gasped even louder, and I whistled in surprise. Someone pinch me! You've certainly changed! Yes, things worked out for me after the move pretty well. I know it's been 10 years, but I wanted to thank you for everything you did for me. Then, Adrien saw Penny and Derek, and the smile instantly slipped off his face. What are these bastards doing here? Come on, Adrien, they're good guys. I know it's surprising, but they're my best friends now. He looked astonished and betrayed. Of course, if anyone had told me I would be friends with Penny and Derek all those years ago, I would have called them a wacko. It all began 10 years ago, when we were all 7. At the time, Adrien was just a plump boy from a poor family. He suffered from asthma and was terribly insecure. Our classmates often made fun of him, especially Derek. He was the biggest bully at our school. And Penny was the prettiest girl there, of course. She was arrogant and snarky. One day, Adrien sent her a Valentine card. Penny tore it up and laughed at him in front of the whole school. I thought it was unfair and hated it, so I stood up for poor Adrien as best as I could. Leave him alone or you'll have to deal with me. You won't be able to protect this wimp forever. Wanna bet? Derek backed off because he didn't want to mess with me. I might have been short, but I didn't let anyone push me around. After that, Adrien decided we were friends and started following me around like a puppy. It quickly got annoying, but I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And then one day, I stayed late at school. The hallways were empty, none of my teachers and classmates were there anymore. I was about to leave when I heard someone crying in the janitor's closet. Hey, who's there? It's me, Adrien. He told me he had hidden in the closet there because Derek had been chasing him, but the door slammed shut and now he was stuck there. I think we'll need a key. The situation got worse when Adrien started having an asthma attack. His inhaler was still in his locker. Hold on! I hoped a security guard would help me, but they weren't at their desk. I grabbed the key to the closet, found the inhaler in Adrien's locker, and came back for him. I can breathe again! Louise, you saved my life! I'll never forget this. Listen, don't follow me around like a shadow anymore, okay? Get stronger and learn to fight back against your bullies instead. Adrien nodded miserably and left. Soon after that, his family moved to Canada. To be honest, I forgot all about him in that day until we met again. As for Penny and Derek, I didn't expect us to ever become friends. One day, our class went camping. The three of us fell behind and got lost. We had to act as a team to survive the night in the forest. You can't live through something like that and not be as thick as thieves afterwards. We made up and started to hang out together. Over time, Derek and Penny went from being arrogant jerks to the cutest couple in the school. Quite the story, huh? Adrien, how come you're back? I came here to thank you for everything. Back then, you didn't just save my life. You also inspired me to become a better person. Can we talk? Sure, why not? Derek, Penny, and I were just going on a picnic. You should join us. Maybe you're all buddies now, but I only have bad memories associated with them. Adrien glared at my friends. There was a tense pause until Derek tried to find a compromise. No problem. Penny and I will go on a picnic and leave you to catch up. Derek patted Adrien on the shoulder and apologized for bullying him when they were kids. But that's all in the past, right? Yeah, I guess. The sweet couple left and I invited Adrien to my place. He whispered something to his bodyguards and they left too. I told them to leave so that we could reminisce. Just the two of us. So you're a big shot now, huh? You could say that. As we walked, he told me that after moving to Canada, he decided to follow my advice. He started to work out, improved his self-esteem, and started going to auditions. At first, he only got small roles in commercials, but he kept working and eventually became a rich and famous actor. And it's all thanks to you, Louise. I didn't think I'd done anything special for Adrien, so I just shrugged in response. Here we are. Aunt Flo was there when we arrived. She was whistling a merry tune as she tinkered with our car. Is our tin can not starting again? It'll be flying by the time I'm done with it. Lucky wagged his tail happily when we walked in. Who's a good boy? You're a good boy. Adrien looked around our tiny old house. He seemed a bit disgusted. Oh, I'm sorry you never escaped poverty. My aunt and I are fine with how things are. I know this place isn't a palace, but it's cozy here. We went to my room and started to catch up. Adrien was used to living in luxury, and I could see that he was feeling a bit uncomfortable. He was clearly trying not to show it, though. By the way, I hoped you liked my gift. Your gift? Well, those amazing earrings. Oh, that was you? Thanks, but I don't need expensive jewelry. I sold them and donated some toys to an orphanage. Oh, I see. Are you upset? A little. I wanted to give you something to thank you for everything you've done for me. I told him that wasn't necessary, but he wouldn't listen. No, I need to find a way to thank you. Do you want me to buy you a new car or pay for the repairs in your house? For the last time, I am 100% satisfied with my life. Let's talk about something else. Adrien nodded uncertainly and told me about his life in Canada. He was clearly thriving. Eventually, I also told him some things about my life, like the fact that my parents never came back for me. I wasn't really looking for them, though. I like living with Aunt Flo and don't care where they are now. We chatted for a bit more, took a selfie on my Polaroid, and Adrien went back to his motel. I'll be staying in town for a few more days. See you soon! Later, I had dinner with my aunt and decided to call my friends and ask them about their day. However, neither Derek nor Penny answered the phone. That was weird. I got worried and was about to go look for them, but then Lucky ran up to me and licked my face. Hey, you're slobbering all over me. Okay, you're right. I won't interrupt their date. I went to sleep and was woken up by a call from Penny's mom. She was worried out of her mind. It turned out my friends had not come back from the picnic the day before. Louise, do you have any idea where they might be? We have a secret spot in the forest. I'll go look for them. Let's go, buddy. I need your help. Lucky and I left the house and I immediately bumped into Adrien on our porch. He beamed at me. I finally figured out how to thank you. Yesterday, I saw that you like to take pictures, but your Polaroid is too old. I want my savior to have something cooler. With those words, he proudly handed me a new fancy camera. I wanted to growl in annoyance, but got a grip on myself. You don't get it. Polaroid photos are much more vivid. That's what matters to me. And stop calling me your savior. Jeez. I didn't accept his gift, but I asked if he wanted to look for Derek and Penny with me. Adrien was so upset by my reaction that he refused to join me. Besides, the forest is full of insects. See you around then. Let's go, Lucky. Half an hour later, Lucky and I were in the forest. We found a blanket and a basket with food and my friends' phones on our favorite picnic spot. But Derek and Penny seemed to have vanished into thin air. I have a bad feeling about this. Derek! Penny! Where are you? I kept shouting their names, but an echo was my only answer. Then Lucky smelled something and barked to make me follow him. Have you picked up the trail? Good boy, well done. He led me to the forester's abandoned lodge. The door was bolted from the outside and we could hear voices inside. I opened the door and let Derek and Penny out. Have you been here all night? What happened? They told me that they had noticed something weird on the way to the forest the day before. Adrien's bodyguards seemed to be following them. Later, when they arrived at our secret spot, they heard terrible noises. We thought it was a bear, so we ran away and hid here. We couldn't get back when it grew quiet. Someone had bolted the door from the outside. I didn't doubt that Adrien had ordered his goons to lock up my friends. He probably wanted to get back at Penny and Derek for what happened to him as a kid because of them. As soon as we got back to the city, I went to the motel where Adrien was staying and pounded on his door. Louise, is everything all right? You seem mad. Oh, do I? You only came back to get back at Penny and Derek, didn't you? Oh, you know about that. Yeah, you're right. I've long dreamed of getting even with those two, but thanking you was my main motivation for coming back, Louise. He sadly admitted that his new life wasn't actually perfect. Even though he had friends in Canada, they only hung out with him because he paid for all of their parties and bought them expensive gifts. Just a few weeks ago, Adrien thought everyone adored him, but then something nasty happened to him again. I had another asthma attack at one of our parties. It was terrible. Instead of helping me and giving me my inhaler, everyone started filming me on their phones. They posted those videos online. That's when I realized that I didn't have a single real friend. It made me think of my savior, you. Louise, you've always been so real and selfless. Was your story supposed to make me feel sorry for you, Adrien? You had it coming. Did you really think they were good people if their friendship could be bought? I turned around and was about to leave, but Adrien stopped me. Wait, there's something you should know. I couldn't leave without thanking you, so I asked my lawyers to find your parents. The good news is, they're now rich and successful. Would you like me to arrange a meeting for you? He probably expected me to squeal with joy and hug him gratefully, but instead, I shook my head in disappointment. You don't get it, do you, Adrien? I don't want anything from you. Just leave me alone. I didn't hear from Adrien for several days after that and thought he had gone back to Canada. Lucky and I were posing for my aunt's new painting on Saturday morning when I got a call from some woman. Louise Allen? That's me. Who is this? I represent the company that ran the lottery. Congratulations! You won a house. The lady rattled off the address of the office I needed to come to in order to get the keys to my new house and hung up on me. I was so surprised I forgot to blink. Lou, who was that? Some woman said I won a house in a lottery. You took part in a lottery? No, someone must have rigged it. And I know exactly who it is. Why can't Adrien just leave me alone? Dang it! I called him and demanded he stop trying to thank me, but he swore he had nothing to do with the lottery. Like I believe that. How come I won a house in a lottery I hadn't taken part in? We're not in Hogwarts. There's no magic here. I think I know who's behind this. When I contacted your parents, I told them their daughter was struggling financially. They probably wanted to give you a gift. I shouted at Adrien to stop meddling in my life and headed to the address I'd been given to find out who gave me such an expensive gift. Penny and Derek joined me on the way there. Louise, will you really refuse to accept the house if they say your parents bought it? Yes, I don't want their charity. I stormed into the office like a hurricane and demanded answers. No one rigged the lottery. Here, look, this is personal info of the winner, Louise Allen. You forgot to write your number, so it took us some time to find you. I read the name on the paper she handed me and barely held back laughter. Now I get it. I'm not the one you're looking for. My last name, Allen, is spelled with 2 L's. You need a different Louise Allen, with 1 L. She won the house. Find her and give the keys to her. Have a nice day. My friends patted me on the back when we left. I'm sorry. It would have been cool if your parents had come to their senses and decided to apologize to you like that. Why are you so glum? Mom and Dad don't care about me. I've long accepted that, so I'm not upset. Come on, let's go get hot dogs. A couple of days went by, life went back to normal. Auntie Flo was tinkering with our car and whistling. Penny, Derek, and I were laying down on our lawn and looking at the clouds. Lucky was chasing butterflies. And then, a limousine stopped by our house and Adrien got out of it. Louise, I'm going back to Canada. I came to say goodbye. By the way, why aren't you moving into your new home? Because there was a mistake. I didn't win anything. Why didn't you take advantage of their mistake? You had a real chance to improve your life. Come with me. Don't you want to escape from this dump? Is it really so hard for you to believe that I'm happy here? I love my city. I have good friends, a cool aunt, a hobby, and a cute dog. I don't need parents that don't want me or expensive things to be happy. Those are the things you need to feel like you matter. You won't make true friends until you figure out how to find joy in the little things. He smiled sarcastically and pretended to wipe away tears with a dollar bill. How touching. I'd rather be lonely but rich. He drove off into the sunset in his limo, and I gathered all my loved ones and took a selfie of us on my Polaroid. Say cheese! I wanted to show you that different people have different values. Don't let anyone convince you that your life is bad if you're happy.